Okay. All right. Hey guys, I'm gonna give you guys just a few minutes to kind of get on for a second so we can get started with Let's Talk Tuesday. Let me share. And as you're coming in, just be sure to share. We want to make sure as many people as possible be able to see the video today. All right. Okay. Gonna get started. All right. Well, hey everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Jessica Starks. I'm the owner and founder of JD Scribes, which is a creative media company based in Mississippi. If you're not familiar with JD Scribes, like I said, we're a creative media company, and basically what we do is we offer creative marketing solutions to small and local businesses in Mississippi and outside of our state. So we can do anything from web design and web maintenance to print branding, which is like your business cards, your posters, flyers, banners, different things like that. We offer writing services, which includes emails and email marketing, blog posts and blog management, press releases, and just basically anything that you need written. We offer social media management and an array of other different services. We like to be in a one stop shop, and pretty much whatever you need, we want to be able to offer that to you. And in the rare event that we don't offer a service or we don't have what you need, we have a whole network that we can refer you to. So before we get started, I just have a few reminders, a few announcements that I just kind of want to throw out there. So, this is the final week of Let's Talk Tuesday. This is Let's Talk Tuesday. This is the final week of our Christmas in July sale. Our Christmas in July sale was running all of July, and you get discounts on every service that we offer. So, like I said, you need a website, you need social media work, you need your press release written, you need business cards, everything is discounted. So you have until Friday to get in touch with us to get your discount. Basically, as long as you get in touch with us and we kind of get, start working on things, that discount will still apply. August 1st, the sale is over. So make sure that you get in touch with us by Friday so you can take advantage of that deal. Also, we will be having our first webinar on August 1st. It's our Facebook crash course. It's part of our social media masterclass series that we have going on. So you'll get to learn pretty much everything about Facebook. You'll learn things like the difference between a boosted post and a traditional ad, the difference between a business page and a personal page, and how you can transition. You'll learn about different techniques that you can use when you're advertising, keywords, research, all that great stuff. If you want to learn about Facebook or you want to just kind of refresh your skills, that webinar is currently on sale for $20. You just go to jdscribes.com and go to our shop, and you'll be able to secure your spot there. And lastly, uh, with everything going on with the pandemic and just all of these different changes going on, kids aren't really able to go to school like normal. And I know a lot of parents are kind of panicking, sitting at home trying to figure out what they need to do. So we're going to be offering kind of tutorials if you need help as far as, you don't know how to operate your computer, you don't know much about email, you don't know like how to work Zoom, different things like that. If you need that assistance, just be sure to message our page, email us, reach out to us on social media, and we can get you set up so you can learn how to kind of adjust to all the changes going on with the school system. So Today, we're going to be talking about how you can adjust to unexpected changes in your business. And I know kind of the obvious thing is, hey, Miranda, the obvious thing you think about when you think of unexpected changes more than likely is coronavirus. It's just kind of that thing that slapped everybody in the face when 2020 came in, and we haven't really recovered from it yet. We're still kind of the entire world is still kind of scrambling, and I know even here at JD Scribes we had to kind of make a lot of adjustments in order to keep up and just figure out how to navigate our new normal. But what I think a lot of people are forgetting is that even when things were normal, there were a lot of unexpected changes that were happening around us all the time that people just weren't adjusting to, and their businesses were suffering for it. So I kind of coupled them into two separate categories. So I categorize them as internal changes and external changes. So obviously, your external changes would be something like the pandemic and the coronavirus. Like it was kind of out of our hands. It had nothing to do with anything you did in your business or anything your competitor did. It was just something that happened. That can also count for like a natural disaster. Hey, Anjanette, like a tornado or an earthquake or just something crazy that might have, happened to still impact your business. And then it can also be things maybe with your competitors, um, like something like a tragedy that happened. Any outside force that impacted your business, that's an external change. Um, Internal changes can be anything within your business or anything that happens to you that affects your business. So let's say you have a new baby. That's going to obviously change how you operate in your business. You're going to have to scale back a little bit so you can take care of your baby for a minute. You may have a death in the family. And that can happen one of two ways. You can either decide to take a step back, or your process of grieving may be to throw yourself into your business and do even more. Say maybe you have a service change, maybe um, like you sell shirts and certain brand of shirts that you have doesn't sell that great. So you're probably gonna have a sale to get rid of the shirts and then you'll probably never have them again. Or that can even count for different foods or just any different service that you may have, or your brand may change. Those are all different examples of internal changes that go on. Um, the first thing that I think with any change that people should remember is that it's a natural thing. Change happens to everybody, and we all kind of have difficulty dealing with it at some time, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Um, Again, like I said, I know this stuff even for myself. The coronavirus kind of came in, and even as a business that's mostly online, it can be overwhelming because you're like, okay, is the market going to be saturated, or are you going to get your same type of reach? And then I know it was hard for brick and mortar locations because then they had to kind of adjust how they interacted with their customers. But even though it's hard, even though you may not like it, it's not impossible, and you can get through it. And then the second thing that I would say, hey, Celeste, the second thing I would say is that even though change can be unexpected, you can prepare for those changes. So, granted, like I said, nobody knew that coronavirus was going to happen. Nobody knew that it was going to last this long. I think a lot of people thought, maybe by like May we were going to be out of this, but obviously we're still here. Um, but there are certain practices that you can put in place to where if you were a brick and mortar location, you could easily transition into the digital space, and I'll cover that in a couple of minutes. So and then I think even with this whole pandemic and everything that went on, it kind of forced a lot of people to sit back and re-examine their strategy, and that's not a bad thing either. Even if you have to switch gears and take a break, there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. And so, as far as your marketing strategy, when it comes to these unexpected changes, there are a few things that I would recommend that you do so that you don't totally lose your audience or you don't turn them off or you don't offend anybody. You can just kind of keep going and it'll be smooth sailing. So, the first thing I would say is to be communicative. Make sure that you are talking to your customers, whether that's like your current customers, you may be talking to them through an email list, or you may be sending out letters, you may be sending out like mass text. Whatever you do to talk to your customers, make sure that doesn't change. Make sure that you stay consistent. So, yeah, right, Miranda, it is the perfect time to reevaluate because I know as a lot of people, this was totally unexpected. And I hate it for a lot of folks because a lot of people, they just weren't ready. Um, but yeah, you want to make sure that you continue to communicate with your audience and that you're as transparent as possible. And I think one industry that this is most important for is if, like, you have products and you ship those products. So, let's say, like I said, you have a store and your usual shipping time is maybe like 3 to 5 business days. Well, due to the pandemic, a lot of people's processing and shipping times went down. So if you were one of those people and your time went from like 4 to 6 days instead of 3 to 5, you need to make sure that your customers were aware of that. Because, let's be real, if you don't just kind of plain face tell them what's going on, they're going to confront you for it and they're going to be mad at you about it. And you might lose business because of that. And I know, you might think they should kind of think about, well, it's a pandemic, it's all this stuff going on, so things are going to be different, but they're not. They're going to expect that same level of service that they always got. So make sure that you're communicating with them as consistently and as best as you possibly can because they're going to be looking to you to make sure that things stay the way that they were. Um, the second tip is to be willing to kind of adjust your speech and your language. This is one that I think people don't really think about that much. And I think it's just because people don't always have the mindset of their customers. They kind of look at them as, oh, we grew up together and she always buys from me, or oh, we went to a party or a networking event or something together. So they know what I mean. They know, you know, but especially when you're on the internet, you have to be careful with some of the stuff that you say and some of the stuff that you do. Because things that may work like here in small Pontotoc may not work out in Atlanta, Georgia, or something that you may have felt 2, 3 years ago. It's not going to hit the same as it will now. So let's say, for example, with the thing with coronavirus. These are the times where you can't be afraid to have like a sale. You can't be afraid to just have some sort of promo, have a giveaway, even if it's not your product. Maybe team up with another business to have a giveaway because this is the time that you need to be building your brand. Because again, got to be realistic. You may not always be making money throughout this, entire time. Let me get some water. My throat is dry. Y'all have to excuse me. If you know me, you know I don't talk a lot. So, but anyway, um, you just have to change how you talk to people. So I know some people were getting in trouble with things that happened with the George Floyd situation, and there were some brands that automatically were like, "Oh, we stand in solidarity with Black people," and blah blah blah, whatever they were saying. There were some people who didn't say anything. Now, some people who were saying things, it's totally fine. Thank you for the support, whatever. But then you also notice some of those people were having tweets pulled up where it was showing where they were supporting, say they were supporting Trump, they supported organizations that, weren't supportive of Black people, different things like that. So you have to keep those things in mind when you decide to jump on a trend like that. Um, because sometimes it's better for you just to not say anything at all. I know a lot of people just said, I'm just kind of going to stay out of the conversation, and that's okay. Sometimes, in an effort for you to keep your brand and to keep yourself from having like a PR disaster and having to go back and fix everything, it's better not to say anything. So, um, that's what I would say for just watch how you talk to your audience, watch maybe some of the things that you support, and just be careful how you present things because stuff can come back to haunt you. And then the last thing I would say is to make sure that you're in more than one place. And I'm not just saying be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. I'm meaning online and offline. Make sure you're in both areas. Again, going back to the pandemic, say you were a restaurant, again, another clothing store, something like that, where most of your customers came to see you physically. Once the pandemic hit, you know, Mississippi was shut down. You couldn't go places. You couldn't do certain things. So let's say that you had your clothing store and you don't have an online store. Some people don't. It doesn't work for some people, and that's totally understandable. However, when this pandemic hits, you understand that you need to at least have a place where people can find you and contact you. You need to have it where they can maybe set up an appointment to come up to your shop. I know some people now, the boutiques are just going by appointment only. How are they going to reach out to you? They can't just drive up to your store, especially if there's somebody already there. Some people may not be online like that. Like there may be an older lady who doesn't really know how to work Google, or she can't get on Facebook. You have to make sure that they have those different routes to reach out to you. So that's what I would say, to make sure that you're networking, because word of mouth can spread quicker than you think. It can go just as quick as Facebook or Instagram. Try to, if you can, have a website. If websites really aren't for you, like having a full fledged online store, at least have something where people can see, okay, this is how I email them, this is how I call them, this is how I book an appointment, whatever, even if you don't want like a huge store. Also, Facebook just rolled out Facebook shops. If you don't have your site yet, go ahead and start your Facebook shop. That way, most people are on Facebook now anyway. Go to Facebook, sell your stuff. It just takes a couple minutes to set up. Make sure that you are in as many places as possible. But that's also why I tell people don't purely depend on social media, because you own a website, you don't own your social media platforms. So if you say something about Black Lives Matter, or you say something about Trump, or you just say something crazy, and Mark Zuckerberg decides that he didn't like what you said, he can shut you down, and there's nothing that you can do about that. And it goes the same for Twitter. Keisha, you didn't know they offered the shops? Yeah, they've had it for a while, but like the full fledged shops, I think they just partnered with WooCommerce, I think, or Shopify, one of the two, to do it, and they just rolled that out maybe in June, so it's still fairly new. But people are really liking it. I've seen a lot of really good reviews, so that may be something you want to try. Um, I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. Oh, being in more than one place. So yeah, and that goes for Twitter. You may offend somebody, they might report your profile, and your Twitter profile is gone. Instagram and Facebook are owned, like they're co-owned. So more than likely, if your Facebook is going to be flagged, your Instagram is going to be flagged. So you have to be careful about those things. Make sure that you have some sort of ownership and you have another place that you can go. Um, but while I'm asking, did y'all have any questions about maybe like your particular industry that you're in, or just general questions about how you can adjust? Maybe a particular situation that you had going on that you might have a question about. Um, you can ask that. I got you, Anjanette. But yeah, like, with this whole pandemic, and like I said, with the George Floyd situation, um, it's been a lot going on this year, And it not only makes you realize that your business needs to be able to kind of adjust and, tweak as time goes on, but it makes you really think about your relationships with people and thinking about how you need to approach different people, because I know for me it just kind of makes you appreciate people more, because you just don't know how much time they have, because it's been so many people dying from this virus. And we've been seeing all the stuff going on um, with the violence, and just people are just doing different stuff. There's not a whole lot of compassion going on, and so you want to make sure that your marketing is as genuine and compassionate as possible. um, but if y'all don't have any questions for me, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. I first of all want to thank y'all so much for joining me today. This is our first, I think, Let's Talk series in about a year. I think it's been a while, and that was kind of my fault. I fell off, but we're getting ready to start kind of getting back into the swing of things, and we're going to be offering even more resources and tools that I hope can kind of help you guys as you're trying to adjust and make your changes in this new kind of digital space that we have to be in right now. There's still a lot of opportunities to make money. There's still a lot of opportunities to build your brand. So I hope some of these tips have kind of helped you reevaluate things and just kind of look at things in your own business differently. And when you start to see this stuff, you might can help somebody else. You might see one of your friends posting something and it's like, nah, you don't need to do that. You can kind of warn them before things kind of go left, too quickly. Um, but I want to remind you guys again, you have until Friday to get in touch with us for our Christmas in July sale. Um, any service that that I have, you get discounted. Like I said, website, social media, web management, business cards, whatever you need, everything is discounted. August 1st is our Facebook Crash Course webinar. It's $20. Like I said, you'll learn everything about Facebook. Keisha, I'll cover the Facebook shop so you can learn about what your options are there. Like I said, that's $20 August 1st. And if you're a teacher, if you have kids that are in school, if you have grandkids that are in school, and you are kind of overwhelmed about how they're going to do like this virtual school, just send us a message or give us a call, and we can kind of help you learn how to operate. If you needed basic functions on your computer. I've had people ask me about like how to operate Excel. Um, I've had people ask me how to do their website, or even simple stuff like how to attach how to attach documents to emails. So pretty much whatever you need, basic computer skills, I'll be more than happy to help you. And lastly, don't forget to join us next month on August 25th for our next Let's Talk Tuesday at 4 o'clock. It'll be about all about domain names. Um, it may seem simple enough in the whole process of your web design, but there's a lot more that goes into picking your domain name, securing your domain, and just making sure that it's not stolen, legal purposes, all that stuff. So we'll be talking about domain names and why they matter, and that'll be on August 25th at 4 o'clock. Um, and again, if y'all have any questions for me, just feel free to leave it in the comments or send me a message, and I will be more than happy to help you. So until next time, bye.